If you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, you probably remember the character Debbie Downer from Saturday Night Live. After every time she said something, there would be this sound, wah, 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 and she would have this awful look on her face. Debbie Downer was obviously toxic, and she is definitely an energy vampire. The problem with a lot of energy vampires is that you don't know who they are. So why am I talking about energy vampires today? After having been in practice for over 20 years, I can say hands down, the most common symptom I have dealt with is fatigue. And so I have become very adept at identifying the many, many, many causes of fatigue, a lot of them physical, but a lot of them are also emotional. And you cannot fix emotional fatigue with a pill or a diet. So energy vampires is the topic for today. I'm going to talk about how to identify them, how they affect you, and then what you can do about it. So what is an energy vampire, and how to identify an energy vampire that's not blatantly obvious? If you're with someone and you find yourself listening to them all the time because they want a stage for you to just be their audience, that is an energy vampire. If there's someone who always wants you to be available for them, like a friend who gets annoyed if you have something else to do, or if you have someone who complains all the time and they always want you to solve their problem, those people are energy vampires. It could even be even more subtle than that, and you just don't feel as good or as much of being yourself when you leave their presence. So why is this a problem? When you are giving more energy to someone than what is fair or balanced, people should go back and forth to lift each other up. It shouldn't be just one person trying to lift the other person up all the time. So if you're trying to lift someone up, or you're just being there for them to feel good about themselves, that is an energy vampire. And when you are exhausted from being around people all the time, it adds up, and eventually it'll make you sick. Or you may be trying to take B12 or iron, trying to fix your fatigue, and it'll never get fixed until you identify the real problem. So how do you fix this issue? Once you start paying attention to how you feel after you're around everybody that you come in contact with, frankly, and you identify those people, then you can start saying no to hanging out with them, or clipping the time that you spend time with them. You could say someone calls. If you feel dread answering the phone, that's a really good sign. If you decide to answer the phone, you can say, hey, listen, I've got 5 minutes, and after that I've got a phone call, or I have, I don't know, you got to pick up your kid or something like that. But they can't argue with that. Or you could just not answer the phone, and then they'll probably tell you that you're avoiding them at some point later on. So you can actually say no, and you can just choose not to go to events where you know that a person might be around that will drain you. And another thing, seek out the people who you feel really good after you're with them. If you feel better about yourself, or you just have more energy, or you feel excited about life. Those are the people you want to choose to be around. So I would start today identifying the energy vampires in your life and create some boundaries and say no. I'll see you next time.